All right, hey everyone, you're here for the first ever episode of Hampr Hangouts with myself, Riz,
Albert,
and Christian.
And really it's just a session for us to kind of talk about what we talk about in the office, try to keep it to 5 minutes, speaking of which, put that timer on.
I trust the timer on me.
And usually, every week or so, there's usually a theme in the office that we're talking about. And so this week, it's pretty much we've been talking about COVID. I think it's on everyone's mind.
It's crazy time, massive impact on a global scale for the pandemic that we're currently going through. But more, I guess, on the business side of things, whether it be from these amazing, huge buildings that are surrounding us, in the offices that are currently empty right now. We all know people, we all know family and friends that are going through tough times right now.
Absolutely.
And I think just like the impact it has had on businesses, restaurants, our partners specifically, has really, changed the way that they're doing business at the moment, having to, stick to delivery and takeaway, which is probably something that was only a portion of their revenue as well.
Definitely, I totally agree. A lot of our partners are cafes, restaurants, caterers, fruit and milk providers as well, snack providers, and a lot of the vendors in these industries are small businesses. And this thing has probably been the single biggest impact this industry has had in, as far as I know, as far as I've been up and running, and we've been up and running in this space. A lot of people have lost their jobs. Companies have had to let staff go full stop, or at least put them on leave without pay. Some people have had to shut down shop, which is crazy. And it's been, like you said, 2 weeks. This week, restaurants are not allowed to have patrons inside, eating inside. Yeah. And I'm completely for the decision to, for the lockout. We have to fight this virus. We have to do what we can to get rid of it. But it's just crazy to think of the impact it's having on businesses.
It all happened so quick as well, didn't it?
Absolutely. Just left, right and center. I mean, we're seeing businesses start to drop off like flies. It's crazy. And on that point, like you said, a lot of these guys can no longer have people in the restaurants, so they're relying on takeaway and delivery, which means inevitably they're going to have to move towards Deliveroo and Uber Eats and those guys to get that business in. And it's great that we have that kind of model set up. Those guys work on a similar model to us and everyone else who's kind of in that marketplace segment where they take a commission for essentially bringing in new business to these restaurants. Yeah. And the model's great. I think it makes sense because for businesses, it's a way for them to go and get revenue, even when they aren't able to kind of, have those resources to go for sales, marketing and things like that. The problem is though, and it's more felt right now, but the problem particularly with Uber Eats and Deliveroo is just the commission that they take. It's so large that it really means they take up all that profit from the top and the businesses or the restaurants are left with almost nothing. Normally that's a problem, and we, the commission that we take at Hampr and a few other guys out there, I know is a lot less. Primarily because we know that for businesses to stay afloat, they need to be making money themselves. However, right now, this is like even more magnified when restaurants can only go to Uber Eats and they can only go to Deliveroo to get that delivery or takeaway revenue or delivery revenue, when they're still squeezing them for 30, 35, 40% of the commission, when these businesses are struggling with, they're having to let staff go, they're struggling to pay rent, they're thinking about whether or not they're going to shut down. I think that's just a significant
100%. And
problem.
Look, on the brighter side of things, I should say, it is really impressive to see how quickly our partners, our restaurants and caterers have been able to adapt to the new norm. Definitely. I mean, not only are they only allowed to just do takeaway and delivery, but now they're doing things like vacuum sealed individual meals that you can heat and eat, essentially, that you can store in the freezer and the fridge, which is just amazing within 1 or 2 days, right? So
for sure, I think it's really positive to see how quickly a lot of these businesses have been able to pivot. A lot of our partners have said, we've got all this space or we've got all this infrastructure that we can leverage, and instead of just saying, oh, we've got no business, let's just leave it, they've pivoted very quickly, and that's good to see. And we're going to have some announcements over the next few weeks in terms of how we're going to try our best to support them in doing what they are. But ultimately, you guys out there at home can help out as well by supporting your local. Go and get food from your local businesses, because ultimately these local businesses and these small businesses are what prop up the economy. So
Well, speaking of adapting, I think one of the last things we'll probably touch on here, and probably one of the most important, there you go, right on time,
5
is mental health. Look, I really want to kind of stress to everyone that I know it's a strange time. We've probably never gone through anything like this before. Staying indoors, I know it's quite difficult considering that we're, as Australians, very outdoorsy. We like to always be out and be social. But look, right now it's really about trying to contain this and trying our best to stay safe and healthy. So with that, I just want to end it all and say, look, we're here for you guys. We're going to try our best to not only adapt, but also to be a positive influence in society in general, really. So we'll do what we can.
And look, guys, if you guys want to join the conversation, if we said something that's offended you, then or you agree with, let us know, whatever it is.
We want to hear it.
We want to hear it, definitely. This is the first of many, we hope. But ultimately, it's to spark a conversation and to work together to help people out and build businesses together. So yeah,
definitely.
Awesome. Well, look, thank you so much, guys, and catch us on the next episode.
See ya.
Bye.